In late January 2026, a personal AI assistant project was sitting quietly at 9,000 GitHub stars. Then it detonated, blowing past 210,000 stars in a matter of weeks. That's not growth. That's an explosion. The project is OpenClaw, built by Peter Steinberger, the founder of PSPDF Kit. And it's the breakout open source story of 2026. But here's the thing about explosions. They don't happen without fuel. So the real question isn't what happened. It's this. Did Peter Steinberger get lucky? Or was the entire open source ecosystem already a powder keg, just waiting for exactly this project? Let's be clear about why this needs an explanation at all. Projects grow. Good projects grow fast. But OpenClaw jumped from roughly 9,000 stars to over 210,000 inches a matter of weeks. That's more than a 20-fold leap in about the time most projects take to ship a minor release. Curves like this are so rare that it's just a good project doesn't cut it as an answer. Something about the environment had to be primed. So here's how we're playing the rest of this video. Like a forensic investigation, we're looking for three things: the fuel, the accelerant, and the spark. Every detonation needs fuel, and in this case, the fuel is the audience itself. Because while nobody was really watching, the crowd that decides what goes viral on GitHub got bigger than it has ever been. GitHub's own Octoverse 2025 report just put hard numbers on it. And honestly, they're wild. GitHub now hosts more than 180 million developers. And during the Octoverse 2025 measurement period, more than one new developer joined every single second, on average. Every second. That's the largest potential audience an open source project has ever had. And it's converging on the same tools. That's what the language data shows. In August 2025, TypeScript overtook both Python and JavaScript to become the most used language on GitHub, picking up roughly 1 million new contributors, a 66.6% jump year over year. Quick note, the findings don't tell us what OpenClaw itself is built with, so we won't pretend they do. The point is simpler. When a project catches fire in 2026, the crowd available to spread that fire is enormous, growing by the second and consolidating around shared tools. That's the fuel. But fuel alone doesn't give you a 20-fold explosion. For that, you need an accelerant. Here's the accelerant. By the time OpenClaw detonated, the ecosystem's attention was already pointed at exactly its category. Per Octoverse 2025, AI-related repositories on GitHub now top 4.3 million. Over 1.1 million public repositories use an LLM SDK, and of the 10 fastest-growing repositories on all of GitHub, 6 were AI infrastructure projects. This wasn't a niche warming up. It was a gold rush in full swing. Want a feel for the velocity? Ragflow, one of GitHub's fastest-growing projects by contributors, posted 2,596% year-over-year growth in contributor engagement. Say that out loud. 2,596%. When a category is moving like that, any credible new entrant starts the race with the wind at its back. But it gets more specific than AI is hot. There's direct evidence that people wanted OpenClaw's exact flavor of AI, personal, self-hosted, under your control, before OpenClaw ever showed up. Exhibit A, Open WebUI. It's a self-hosted, offline-capable AI interface that pairs with Ollama, and it has passed 282 million downloads and 124,000 GitHub stars. Think about that. 282 million downloads for a tool whose entire pitch is run your AI yourself, on your machine, on your terms. That's a proven, massive appetite, a market that had already raised its hand. So when OpenClaw, a personal AI assistant, showed up, it walked into a room where the demand was pre-verified. So, case closed, right? AI hype plus a huge audience equals inevitable explosion. Except there's a hole in that theory. If AI hype explained everything, you'd expect the single fastest growing repo on GitHub to be an AI project. It wasn't, it was a browser. Zen browser. Zen browser. Desktop topped GitHub's Octoverse 2025 list of fastest growing open source repositories, ahead of a field that was otherwise dominated by AI projects. And GitHub's most influential projects list from GitHub Universe 2025, full of non-AI staples. Appright with over 50,000 stars. Ladybird, a browser built from scratch with more than 1,200 contributors, plus Zulip, Homebrew, OpenCV, and Oh My Ziesh. So no, the ecosystem's energy isn't exclusively AI-shaped. Now, here's our read, and we're flagging it as interpretation, not fact. Look at what Zen browser and the self-hosted AI wave have in common. It isn't the model weights. It's personal computing you control, a browser you shape, an assistant you host. The shared ingredient isn't AI, it's ownership. And that reframe matters, because OpenClaw doesn't sit in just one of those currents. It sits right at the intersection of both. Okay, let's put the whole model together. The fuel, an audience of more than 180 million developers, growing by more than one every second. The biggest crowd open source has ever had. The accelerant, 4.3 million AI repos, 6 of the 10 fastest growing projects being AI infrastructure, and a proven 282 million download appetite for AI you control. And the Spark? OpenClaw is a personal AI assistant created by Peter Steinberger, the founder of PSPDFKit, a known founder with real credibility, building in the exact category the ecosystem had already validated. Quick honesty checkpoint though. No finding documents the specific trigger. There's no verified tweet, demo, or launch post we can point to as the match. What we can say is that the Spark was founder credibility meeting, category moment fit, fuel, accelerant, Spark. Take away any one of the three, and the curve you saw at the top of this video probably never happens. So, luck or inevitability? Here's the verdict. And again, this part is analysis, clearly labeled. Given the stacked conditions, the record developer influx, the AI infrastructure gold rush, the proven hunger for personal self-hosted AI, something like OpenClaw was close to inevitable. The powder keg was real. That it was specifically OpenClaw? That came down to the Spark. A credible founder shipping the right kind of project into a pre-verified category at exactly the right moment. The environment made the explosion inevitable. The specifics made it OpenClaw. One caveat before you go. That 210,000 number measures attention, not longevity. Star velocity tells you the ecosystem noticed. It doesn't tell you what OpenClaw becomes. This is the beginning of the story, not the end. But now you got the model. Fuel, accelerant, Spark. Watch for a massive converging audience, a category with pre-verified demand, and a credible builder stepping into it. And you might just spot the next detonation before it happens. If this kind of forensic teardown is your thing, Neural Stack does one every week. See you in the next one.